those who have served and those currently serving in the uniformed services of the United States are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who have endured and may still be enduring the agonies of pain, deprivation, and imprisonment. Before we continue our activities today, we pause to recognize our prisoners of war and those missing in action. We call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as POWs and MIAs. We call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families. So we join together to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued suppressors. Remember, the table is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. Remember, the tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember, the single rose in the vase signifies the blood they may have shed in sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. This rose also reminds us of the family and friends of our missing comrades who keep faith while awaiting their return. Remember, a slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears of families as they wait. Remember, the glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us at this time. Remember, the chair is empty. They are not here. Remember, the candle is reminiscent of the light of hope which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of a grateful nation. Remember, the American flag reminds us that many of them may never return and have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. Remember,
we were driving down a road just to see what we could see when we came upon this field, just grass, no flower, no tree. But out there in this field were many flags, row on row. There were hundreds of them. We knew that it must be so. Our curiosity was aroused. What were they doing there? We stopped, pulled off the road, stepped out into the quiet air. As we walked up to the flags, there was something else to see. There was attached to every flag a picture. Who was he? We bent and took a closer look. There was a picture and a name on each and every flag, and none of them the same. This one's name was Bill. He came from down the street. This one's name was Annie. She had a smile so sweet. As we looked at each we passed, we noticed one thing more. Each picture wore a uniform and 2 dates, nothing more. We realized what we were seeing was a field of lives now lost, a field of brave defenders, a field that showed the cost of many young lives, lost over all the many years. They went when they were called, amidst their loved ones' tears. World War I, World War II, then Korea and Vietnam. Now some are in Iraq, all fighting for Uncle Sam. They went when they were called. They went, don't you see? They went for all their loved ones, and they went for you and me. Thank you.
When you think about it, that's why we call this generation that fought World War II the greatest generation. We have very little time left to honor World War II veterans and Korean veterans.
My name is Bob Stewart. Right out of high school, like many of these young guys, I went right in the military. And last couple weeks ago, while I was at Escapees, I heard somebody doubt Santa Claus, but he was there. We found him.
I'm Robert Davis, 46271. I was in the Pacific in World War II. His name was Alfred E. Gay. He and I was going to get the Medal of Honor. Man, we were going to get him. But the problem was they never could get us out of the foxhole.
I'll leave you with a final thought. Freedom is not free. There is a price to pay. In blood, in tears, in lost tomorrows, in unfulfilled dreams, in neat rows of white crosses, in memorials to the fallen from those he freed, in the haunted eyes of a father, in the broken heart of a mother, in the tears of a wife and child. There's a saying, all gave some gave all. You can see freedom is not free. There is a price to pay.